Rolling. Okay, this is going to be really hard to see from where you are at. I think the best thing to do for you guys is you're going to want to do it over there on the light tables. You can actually bring the light table to your table and plug it into those little yellow things above you, right? But what you'll want to do is you'll want to put the sleeve on the light table, and then you'll want to turn your bodice over so the back side is facing you. And then what you want to do is you want to get your little armhole intersection, armhole side seam intersection, and you want to put that right on top of F on your sleeve, which is the front armhole side seam intersection. And then what you want to do is you're looking through the paper and you're making this armhole line right here, you're making it pivot right on top of the one that you drew on your sleeve. So, this isn't the bodice I used before. There's a different bodice that I used before, I can tell. So I have that intersection, right? And then I'm gonna pivot my bodice until the armholes are right on top of each other. And then I'm following the armholes and they deviate from each other right here. So now I put my pencil down there and then I pivot the bodice until the armhole in front of my pencil, not behind it, because that's already done, until those align with each other again, and then they are out of alignment right about here. So I put my pencil here, and then I pivot until the line in front of my pencil aligns with the armhole, like the two armholes are on top of each other again, and then I follow that line until they deviate from each other, and then I put the pencil there. And then I keep doing that. I keep pivoting. And like I said, it's really hard for you guys to see. It's hard for me to see, and I'm right on top of it. This also works pretty well on, like, not to see, but to like pin it down. It works well on a corkboard. What we need is a corkboard light table. No such thing exists that I know.
The future is alive.
What's that?
The future is alive.
That's where I'll make my millions, huh? Where'd it go? I think that's it right there. So now, my shoulder seam is where I'm bending the paper back. So my shoulder seam is on top of my armhole, my shoulder sleeve cap. And I'm going to make a line for where my front bodice ends, which is before A. It should be before A. How much before, I can't tell you, but it's before A. It should be. And then I'm going to write next to that F for front. So, or I could write front. So I know that from the F at the underarm armhole intersection all the way up towards the cap, my shoulder seam will end there before A. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the back. So again, I just pivot. So I align the little armhole intersection and I just pivot all the way around. Do you need to see me do it? Right? You can't really see anything, but you get the idea, right? I'm getting this line to touch this. And as soon as the two curve away from each other, I move my pencil to the spot where they just start to deviate, and then I make the part in front of my pencil touch again, put my pencil down where they deviate, and then keep pivoting until I walk it all the way around. So when I do that, my back ends here. In your book, they say you want the distance between these two. They shouldn't cross over. They should be apart from each other. So the back should end before A on its side, and the front should end before A on its side. In your book, it says you want about 1.5 inches worth of ease. I say, if you walk it and it ends up being 1 inch of ease, or even 3/4, so much the better. Because I personally hate easing a sleeve into an armhole. So 1.5 inches is okay, it's just more annoying to sew. And 1 inch is okay, 3/4 of an inch I think is even okay. The ease is to accommodate the ball of the shoulder, and I think 3/4 or 1 inch will do just fine. Your book says 1.5 inches. I'm pretty sure that's what they say.
Where is that measurement?
This is the
Between
ease.
those two?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they
So that looks
didn't
like an
didn't
inch.
meet.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be my excess that I have to
Right,
distribute in
yeah.
this space. And I have between the two notches to get that done. I usually keep it up closer to here, but I have all this space to get that done.
Yeah.
So if I have, well, I guess we'll see what you guys get once you walk yours, and
Yeah.
we'll see what you have. I have drafted another sleeve over here so that I can show you some ways, more than one way, to deal with it. Your book shows you several ways. They show you manipulating the bodice, and they show you manipulating the sleeve, and I'll show you a little of each too, so you get to see what it's like. But let's just start by finishing up the dart and then walking your sleeve to see what we've got for ease.